They snow bunnied our brother Jonathan Majors. I think they're going to try to destroy the brother. Now, I don't condone bunny hopping. An attack on one black man is an attack on all black men. What bothers me the most about the Jonathan Majors situation, totally preventable. Totally preventable. Totally preventable. Snow bunny hunting is the most dangerous form of hunting you can do in the United States of America.
I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth.
Jonathan Majors has recently broke his silence and has opened up about the way this entire court case and ordeal has impacted his personal life and what he is hoping to get out of it. He recently sat down with CBS to just discuss the entire process, to further reiterate why he is in fact innocent regarding the charges that came against him. But the part of the interview that got the most interest was the 30-second clip where he compared his girlfriend, Meagan Good, to Coretta Scott King. Check it out.
Through it all, Major's new girlfriend, actress Meagan Good, has remained by his side, even present for our interview.
How would you describe your relationship?
She's an angel. She's held me down like a Coretta, you know? I'm so blessed to have her, you know? The relationship is still fresh, but, you know, I think I found her.
Now, this is not the first time that Jonathan Majors has mentioned Coretta Scott King. In the audio clip that was released a couple of months back, where his ex-girlfriend Jabari was recording Jonathan Majors' discussion with her, he referenced Coretta Scott King, he referenced Michelle Obama, and at that time was basically trying to explain to her why she should be like those women. Now, I mean, of course, already black women everywhere are just like, why are you trying to explain to a white woman how to be like black iconic figures? But nevertheless, right, those audio clips leaked a couple of weeks back. People had a lot of things to say. And, you know, again, that was the first time where we really heard him talk about Coretta Scott King. Now, fast forward, and Meagan Good has really been the one by his side since this entire time. And when alluding to his relationship with Meagan Good and the impact that she has had on him, again, he brought up Coretta Scott King. What he said definitely sparked a debate. Now, a lot of people were quite upset about his reference to Meagan Good being like Coretta Scott King. Obviously, Coretta Scott King and Meagan Good are just completely different women. She kind of represents the big mama era, right? She was a family woman, raised her kids. She was devout. She was loyal to her husband. She was a pastor's wife. She was about, you know, she was about very Christian ethics. She was about essentially trying to fight for the well-being of her people. And even after her husband passed, and you know, all the different allegations have been made about his affairs with women and him being a cheater and him being, you know, abusive and all these different things, all of those which she has denied, by the way, she still continues to honor and respect the name of her deceased husband, right? So you have Coretta Scott King over there, and then you have Meagan Good, who she came to fame through being a video vixen, through, you know, having half-naked photos of herself, through doing scenes that were quite provocative, being in and out of different relationships. I know she had that season where she was a pastor's wife, but that ended. She no longer did that, and is now a season where she's essentially by the side of Jonathan Majors, a man who is essentially down in his luck. But you know, here you have a civil rights activist over here, and then you have an entertainer over here, right? They're not necessarily, they're not really in the same, they're not even in the same room. They're in completely different spheres. So ultimately, I can understand why there are people out there who would take offense to what Jonathan Majors was saying. Nevertheless, he's just giving us insight into not only who he looks up to, but ultimately who he wants to be. How he wants to put himself on the same level of a Martin Luther King or Obama, or people who literally shaped history by doing things that nobody else has ever done before. I don't know, like, I'm not sure exactly what plan he had or what vision he had, but it sounds like that's what he was aspiring to. And this is partially why I think it's actually quite sad, because if you do aspire to be on the same level of a Martin Luther King or Barack Obama, or again, these are people who changed the course of history. Whether or not you like what they were about or like what they stood for, they changed the course of history. What you do notice about these men, though, is that they had very successful, loyal wives in their own right. These aren't men who were worrying about their wives sleeping around or their wives getting drunk. These probably weren't men who had to go and sit down and talk to their wife about the importance of being a good woman. Like that, the fact that there was even audio of him sitting down and literally having to explain line by line what it means to be a good woman is not something that a man with those aspirations would have to do. They don't have the luxury to try to school her into being a what. No, that is one thing, right? That Martin Luther King, Barack Obama have on their side, whether or not you like them or not. They obviously had women that were supportive of them enough, who stood by them enough, and who were willing to ride with them enough, even at the point of death, and in the case of Martin Luther King. And so who you marry and who you partner with is absolutely essential. It is crazy to think that this man, with the work that has happened up to this point, could literally have lost it all over a bad date, over a fight, right? It's just crazy to think, but this has been going on for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. I was literally reading Proverbs 7 earlier today, where it was encouraging men to keep away from women who literally destroy the lives of men. I mean, this is a text that was written thousands of years ago in a totally different cultural context that still applies today. So who people choose is incredibly important, and I don't like to kick somebody when they're down. I'm sure hindsight is 20/20. I'm sure there's plenty of things he's now looking back at and asking himself or questioning himself or wishing he could do better. I hope it works out for him. I hope things do better. But you know, these situations with celebrities, these kinds of scenarios, they always serve as reminders for people to not take life too lightly, to be aware of, you know, who you are. Be aware of who you are culturally. Understand the history of your people. Understand where you are socially, politically in this current society. It doesn't mean you can't have aspirations. It doesn't mean you can't live a beautiful life. But we want to be mindful of, we want to be in reality of what's going on. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter who you know. You're still Black in America, and that means certain things. And also, you know, sage wisdom never gets old. Sage wisdom never gets old. Who you partner with, who you marry with, who you engage with, could literally make or break the trajectory of your life. This is the power that women have. We have the power to, again, build up, to encourage, to empower our men to be their best selves, and to literally change the community. We have that power, and likewise, we have the power and the ability to tear these men down. It's been going on for thousands of years. It's been warned against for thousands of years. So don't be that woman. Don't be that woman who tears somebody down. Don't be that succubus. But anyways, that's what I got. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Also, be sure to check out my new channel where I talk a lot more about spirituality, what it means to actually be a good woman, what it means to actually be a good woman, what it means to actually be a healthy, productive woman who rejects a lot of this modern woman programming and is more interested in living a life devoted to God and her family. Check it out on my new page, and let me know what you think. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later, okay? Bye.